Hello and welcome. This is Ayana Lahi, and I am so very happy that you're here with me today in this week's episode of Be One, Be You. We are diving into the collective and universal theme of healing intergenerational trauma. Trauma is a moment where the energies in your body, the fluid, radiant, intelligent currents of life energy that you are, freeze in your body. They have an impulse that, when sensed, feels like everything is stopping, time has stood still, and that your mind is not able to process what's really going on. But the computer in your body is the full and whole consciousness that is always working inside of you, is storing away information and feelings that are created through your nervous system being on overload. When you are told something that is difficult to process and handle, that is a moment of a trauma. When you are touched inappropriately, that is frozen emotion experienced as trauma. When you are ultra reprimanded as a child, or criticized or judged, that is a moment of trauma. When a moment lacks love, your nervous system will interpret it as a traumatic moment. When you are in a relationship and your partner is exerting their will and not taking into consideration or their reality, that what they are doing in the moment is overriding your boundaries, that is a trauma. When your nervous system gets overamped and you lose connection with the you that's really you, that is a trauma. I was realizing a little while ago that trauma and karma kind of go together and certainly sound similar, and yet they're very different. When we hold trauma that is intergenerational, it becomes karma, meaning that the core impulse, the core creation has to be unwound. As a collective consciousness, we unwind our beliefs. And as you are well aware, when we look out into the world right now, there are so many woven beliefs that are all being lived out at once that it's pretty easy to want to just hide or pull back or shut down. It's actually an amazing opportunity to reconnect deeper into the cord, into your inner source, and manifest who you are into the world as things quicken and are constantly changing, and there are battles between one thought system and another, and the pull to stay true to yourself and also know what's happening in the world, be a part of it, and that fine line of not losing yourself in the social and collective latest ways of being true to yourself, following what you're here to discover, realize, and master about being you. So how does intergenerational trauma connect with what you're here to do in your life? Well, pretty big time. It's connected deep into the inner fabric of your being. It's connected to the generator inside of you of how you approach interacting with your dream, your values, money, relationship, love, commitment, your dreams, your creativity, how you parent, how you relate to others who have different perspectives and beliefs than you, and how you relate to God, that source of life that gives it and takes it away and gives you the opportunity to be one with it, with that giant, big inner awareness that, wow, I'm really connected to a deeper, bigger, wider, loving source that is super powerful. Intergenerational trauma is oftentimes covered over in a veil, in a sheath, in a cocoon where no one can touch it. It is past. And if you come from a multi-generational pattern of covering over the trauma, whether you're yellow, brown, white, black, whatever your skin color is and whatever your religion is, every single one of us have gone through our own multi-generational experience of trauma. Why? Every great spiritual teacher, the avatar who returns every 700 to 1400 years to deliver the same message, that is to become love, to understand that you are love, and to make your internal changes to align to that love, keeps coming back because we're still learning as a collective global consciousness that amidst all of the amazing inventions and technologies of this time, without the love, without really honoring our own human evolution through the heart and the mind connected, we lose it. We lose the connection to why we're here. When we go through on a generational level, feeling ostracized, where we experience violence, discrimination, where we have been tossed aside, where we have been judged, that pain lodges in our body as trauma. And yes, we're going to move into where to begin to heal. This passageway through the intergenerational trauma has been a big theme in my life and working with the thousands of individuals that I care for over these many decades. And my heart is always there completely with this theme, because for many reasons it affects how you raise your family, how you engage, as I shared earlier, with yourself, with the world, in issues of trust, and being able to find your own values and not to fall victim of living out the pain that happens through the intergenerational trauma. Taking it on can divert your life. Many of you will understand what it's like to be living through the patterns that you took on and were given to you by your family of ancestry. It's just natural when helplessness happens, disempowerment happens, lack happens, pain happens, sorrow happens, grief happens. And being a human being, we care. And we're willing to do what it takes to alleviate, clear, remove, lessen that pain. The way through the pain, yes, is through the heart center. It is through the process of forgiving your own ways of avoiding, denying, giving in. It is forgiving the enemy for killing, destroying, ending, shifting, violating life, because they are doing that to themselves. So yes, we do to others as we do to ourselves, to love all and to not do harm to anyone, because we are caring for others as we would want to be cared for. What is it that we're really fighting for? And yeah, that's a topic all into itself. We're fighting for our own survival, and we forget that we're not solo, we're not separate from everyone else. And yet there are times when we have to stand true to who we are, and that ties into the multi-generational trauma, because we want to support the pain and the loss that happens through these traumas. Whether it is the loss of lives, loss of a community, homes, the loss of one's will, the loss of financial resources, the loss of courage, the loss of one's body, the loss of one's integrity, loss of one's dignity, the loss of a child, the rape of one's body, the manipulation of one's mind. Pain is a lesson experience. Pain can be made use of to go through the layers of pain that are bigger and deeper than the situation that created that pain. I've walked this journey. I was born into this journey of moving through pain and having to understand where I live inside of that pain, and to then clear the pain and to understand what was mine and what was not mine, and through healing my relationship to me, finding me amidst the rubble of severe ancestral, multi-generational trauma I came through. I want to invite you to feel, as I'm speaking and sharing and being here with you right now, where you feel it in your body, where you feel that trauma point tension, and just bring your mind down into it. Let your fingers, like 2 fingers of either hand, touch that point and bring in blue light. Imagine a current of blue light moving down from above your head into your body, into the point where your 2 fingers are now resting, and invite yourself to pour that blue light in. Slow your breath down, and the blue light reconnects you into the source that you are, the source that you are connected to. When we go through a trauma, as a natural biological reaction and response, we separate. It's our form of protection and creating a covering around us through shutting down inside of us to stop the pain. bringing in the blue light will be a beginning step through the darkness that is in this point of tension. When we disconnect from Source, there is a darkness, there is a void spot, a void of being able to really feel. There is a numbness. My invitation to and with you is to bring your mind through the blue light into this point and begin to move through the numbness. This could be 5 minutes that you do every day. All of us carry some level of multi-generational trauma. It's past. It's really amazing. Even if a child never meets their grandparent, for instance, the child will know that trauma on some level of their being, and it will influence and activate emotions and actions they may not even understand. If you ever feel confused about your life and something not working in your life, I want to suggest and highly recommend that you track the multi-generational behaviors and inner perceptions, the inner psyche of your relationship with your family of origin, because we are interconnected beings. We feel life. And in this time of our evolution on planet Earth, it's easier to not feel what's going on. We have so many options to numb out, to feel it, to go through it, to discover what you have taken on and choosing not to, giving it back to the person or the collective mindset that has given this to you if it doesn't work, to strengthen your bonds to your own being, the source of who you are. It's like Buddha walking away from his family, the great perfect master Hazrat Babajan from Afghanistan originally, who spent most of her time in Pune, India. She had to walk from her family of great wealth to seek her life and to reach perfection in herself, to realize and be one in God and be that anchor. Through the multi-generational trauma that you have been given and that you can feel, whether you have a longing to break through, to do more, to have more understanding of why you're here, to fulfill why you're here, to increase your educational levels, to find what's most radiant in your heart is what takes you through and through these steps, because you're always guided by your higher self. Your higher self is aware of the trauma, and your higher self comes in as that blue light. And even if you're not ready to bring in the blue light to that tension point, I'd love to invite you to move into the blue light of your higher self above your head, and then bring in through a sensory experience of just allowing. When you allow, you create. You're allowing that blue light of infinite source, God, whatever name you call your source, your sacred connection is perfect. Bring the blue light all around you and allow it to expand, to begin to open your body through and beyond the trauma, to feel and find the next level of light that is coming through into you through that blue ray, and then allow the white ray of light, that infinite, penetrating ray of truth, of love, without dogmas, without the beliefs, without the hatred, without the fear. Be tender in yourself to feel the love, because it is the love, the wisdom that is within the source coming into you and reawakening you to your next level of being in that source of love within you that is the healing grace, the healing tool. Thank you so very much for joining with me. I love being here with you, and I invite you to check out the Deepenings mini courses on my website. You can purchase them now either in a subscription, monthly or annual subscription, or individually. And you'll see that what we're talking about today, you can deepen and further your experience through the Deepenings mini courses. Holding you in great love until we meet again, until we spend this precious time together. I'm holding great love for you. May you have a beautiful week. Sending all my love. This is Ayana Leahy.